Welcome to this video in which I am going to discuss today collocation, English collocation. Now first let us look at what collocation is. So I am using once again this dictionary, Lexico, powered by Oxford Dictionary, collocation. And let's look at this definition. Collocation is a pair or group of words that are habitually juxtaposed. What is the meaning of juxtaposed? You can say opposed means placed side by side, facing each other. Now look at this example. Strong tea and heavy drinker are typical English collocations, which means what? With tea, you use the adjective strong, not hard tea, like soft drinks, hard drinks. No. Of course, it could be hot tea, it would be cold tea, but we are using a strong in a particular sense when you have used too much tea leaf for making tea. So a strong tea. Heavy drinker, you don't say he's a great drinker. No, he's a heavy drinker. As opposed to somebody may be a light drinker, or somebody may be maybe a casual drinker, occasional drinker. So heavy drinker. So I have taken this example, strong tea. Now there is a conversation between Ram and Shyam. And Ram says, I want a cup of strong tea. Shyam has a different liking for tea, different choice. Shyam says, I want a cup of mild tea, or I want a cup of light tea. Now, which one do you think is correct? Mild tea or light tea? Which one? Interestingly, these adjectives which are often used in India, both are wrong. Tea can't be mild or light. So what is the correct expression? Look here. Weak tea, meaning, this is your dictionary, an American dictionary. Weak tea. And what is the definition? A dilute solution of tea. Dilute means diluted. Both are correct. So that is the meaning of weak tea. Now we will look at other examples also. So I am taking you straight to the Oxford Collocation Dictionary. Here before you, it is online Oxford Collocation Dictionary. And this is tea. Now let us see the list of adjectives that can be used to describe tea, which means what? That these adjectives collocate with the noun tea. First example is fresh, second stewed, third strong, and immediately after strong it is weak. So, to say I want a cup of mild tea is wrong, or light tea is wrong. You want a cup of weak tea. But of course in India, if you use this expression, people will be surprised because people are not used to the correct word which collocates with tea. Let us look at other examples. Now look at it. He conducted a crime. He committed a survey. What's awkward about it? You don't conduct a crime and you don't commit a survey. What is the correct way? He committed a crime. He conducted a survey. I took these examples only to drive home the point that the noun, the word crime, collocates with the verb commit. Of course, commit collocates with other nouns also, like he committed a mistake. Okay, but here, of course, in this context, he committed a crime and he conducted a survey. So you can't say he committed a survey. No, he conducted a survey. And of course, there are other verbs also. You can say he undertook a survey. There may be other verbs also. He did a survey. But these are the two examples. Okay. Now look at this example. He gave his English examination yesterday. What do you say? Is this correct? He gave his English examination yesterday. Throughout India, students as well as teachers also use this expression. He gave, I could not give my exam. But this is utterly wrong. The correct form is, he took his English examination yesterday. And we are not used to this verb took. Why? Because we think in terms of Indian language, in which, like in Hindi, usne pariksha di. Therefore we say he gave, but that is wrong. He took. In order to be sure about it, let us go to this again Oxford Dictionary. This time this is Oxford Learners Dictionary, which is one of my favorite dictionaries. Exam, of course, slightly informal. That's why it first says also formal examination. So whether it is exam or examination or test. Look at this example. To take an exam. So you take an exam, you don't give an exam. Of course, you pass or fail an exam also. But take an exam. Now look at it. I hate doing exams. So either you take an exam or you do an exam. Or what is the third option that you have? You sit an exam. You don't even have to use the preposition for. I'm going to sit for an exam. No need. I'm going to sit an exam. So these are the three verbs that collocate with exam, examination, or test. But never, in nowhere you will find that the dictionary uses the collocating verb give. That is 100% wrong. Now, let us look at a couple of other examples, and a classic example of the error of collocation. He resigned as chairman due to personal reasons, or he resigned as chairman because of personal reasons. Which one is correct? Due to personal reasons or because of personal reasons? The interesting thing is that both are wrong, because due to reasons, they are sort of synonymous. Similarly, because of and then reason, because, which means cause, reason, they are also synonymous. Okay, what is the correction? He resigned as chairman for personal reasons. The only preposition collocating with the noun reason is for. Let us look at some authentic examples. Now, we are in one of the best dictionaries freely available online. Longman Dictionary I am using. The word reason. Okay. Various examples, meaning, clarification. Okay. We come to this grammar part. Okay. We are not dealing with grammar part right now. Collocation part. Verbs collocating with reason have a reason. Give a reason. Think of a reason or see a reason. I see no reason why it should not work. Explain the reasons for something. Okay, similarly, it collocates with adjectives, a good reason, the main reason, and there are examples also, like there is usually a good reason why the price is so cheap. Okay, the main reason, a major reason, also a big reason, informal, the real reason. Okay, these are the examples, but we are not concerned with any of this. What we are concerned with, phrases. Now you see here phrases for legal, political, medical, etc. reasons. Mind the preposition collocating with the verb reason. Okay, for legal, political, medical, etc. reasons, for security reasons, for personal reasons, as I used in the example, for sentimental reasons, for obvious reasons, for no apparent reason, for some reason or other, for reasons best known to somebody, like for reasons best known to herself, she decided to sell the house. My whole point is that in none of these examples there is any preposition used along with reason other than for. Therefore, both these examples, he resigned as chairman due to personal reasons, because of personal reasons, both are wrong. The only correct preposition is he resigned as chairman for personal reasons. Now you may ask me how to learn the correct use of collocation. There is no how. The more exposed we are to authentic literature, good literature, correct language, the more exposed we are, the better, the more accurate will be our own statements, our own expressions. I hope what I have discussed today is helpful, and until my next video, bye from me.